We are the Hollywood Paranormal Detectives.
Gosh, I love that picture from Nevada State Prison. What's up, everybody? It is Wednesday night, and you know where you have to be to get your paranormal fix, and that is right here, live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch with HPD Live. I'm going to get right down to it. I'm going to bring in the crew. Just boom, boom. Here's the crew. Bang, right there. No hesitation.
We're here.
We just got back from a wild weekend in the city of Goldfield, in the city of Tonopah. Insanity, everybody. Investigating the Goldfield School, revisiting the Clown Motel, and hanging out in front of Goldfield. So we can get down to our guests, though. We were also joined this weekend by Miss 3GD Emily. And Emily, from the Three Girls in the Dark, has told us you got to get our medium Melissa on your show so you guys can talk mediumship, paranormal, and all things awesome. So here she is, 3GD's medium, Miss Melissa Holloway.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm good. It's a little later here. I live in St. Louis. It's been kind of a rainy day, but overall pretty good.
You're still in St. Louis, where 3GD originated.
Yeah. Emily left us to go explore LA and is living her best life, but we missed her like crazy.
I work with her every day. She gave me this shirt for my birthday, even with a terror dog from Ghostbusters.
Oh, that's a cool shirt.
Because me and Brian worked on Ghostbusters, because we're in the same industry, the effects industry, with Emily. So that's how we lured her in to our...
She's a really good gift giver.
She is.
I have some really good gifts from her.
She's the best, and she truly proved she was a pro this weekend. Let's start with that. How did you meet Emily and 3GD? Because I don't think you're an original 3 girl, right?
No, I'm not. So it was really random. My mom owns a restaurant in like Central Missouri, kind of in the country. And I was working this event for her, not even in the town that she lives in. And I ran into these 2 guys, and the one I kind of just read on the spot, like it just happened, even though I was selling hot dogs and hamburgers. And he was like, my friends, they need a medium. And I was like, nobody needs a medium. Okay, whatever. Like, nobody needs a medium. And then literally they called me and basically kind of blindfolded me. Like, they didn't tell me where we were going. They had me meet them all the way across town. And then we drove like an hour to a location. And I guess I passed the test.
What was the location?
Where was it? It was like in Burns Mill. It was like an old... It was an old haunted hotel. It's not like a famous location or anything like that. Yeah. It's like right on a river.
Oh,
that's cool.
Now I can like see it in my head, but I think it was Burns Mill.
Okay. Wow. And had you worked like as a medium already?
Yeah. So it runs in my family.
Wow.
It goes back several generations on both sides of my family.
Both sides?
Yeah. Mostly my mom's mom and dad's side.
Okay.
And so I had been doing publicly for maybe at that point like 5 years. So yeah, I had been doing it, but my friends and family my whole life.
Were you working in the paranormal or just as like a consultant and helping individuals?
Individuals.
Okay.
But I'm also a nurse, so I'm a nurse also, so I was kind of doing both. I still am doing both, but yeah, I do group readings, personal readings, couples readings, events, and also the paranormal stuff. They like to take me to really scary places, I think, just so it looks like a live action movie to me, to scare the little literal crap out of me. And they have all video of me just looking scared and laughing at me. And they love to put me in the dark where I'm like, ooh.
So you're
I love
not
it.
into the spooky part, but you're a necessary component. to
Yeah,
the
not
spooky.
really. I'm like all about the love and light. I'm all about you can read a property the same at night as you can during the day. So I'm always like, why are you taking me to this dirty place in the middle of the night? And they just laugh at me.
We know you're about the love and light. Now go into this place where people were murdered.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God, it's like I'm in the movie. I don't want to be in the movie.
Now I know there are different. Mandy might be better at this question than I am. Different kinds of medium abilities. What kind of medium? Because I think Mandy, you are a trance medium. Is that correct?
Well, there's different yes, but there's different modalities of mediumship, but there's also different ways, like different senses that mediums use more than others to get their information. So I guess he's asking, how do you do your
What is
mediumship, your
your-
readings? Like, what's your strongest sense? for
What's your
you?
style of
What's my
mediumship?
style?
What's your style, girl?
A little bit of every style kind of is my style. I mean, sometimes it's like a direct download. Sometimes it's someone or soul communicating with me directly. Sometimes I'm smelling something. Literally, I think it's because I have a cold, but the last week, it's like everyone was smoking and emphysema has been coming through. I'm like,
Oh.
I'm dying. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Your loved one. It's like I think it depends on the connection with the actual spirit. Sometimes I feel like the actual energy of the ground, like the electromagnetic energy. I didn't say that right, but you get the point. So sometimes it's like actual reading the energy of where the space is, or where the person was, or the soul. I just think there's many different components.
Mhm.
And I think it all depends on the circumstance for my style.
Oh.
I call it diarrhea of the mouth. It just kind of like comes out.
Because they're not your words or thoughts. They're just a reading you're picking up.
It
So you
depends.
just have to pour them out.
I think it depends, because some souls' energy is stronger where they can give you exactly, like the information, like it's like talking to you. And then other times it's like detective work, like somebody might give you something weird, like work boots, or I don't know, or like
Just a clue almost.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
We always, Cindy Keza, she's a psychic medium. She always explains it like it's like playing telephone, charades, and pictures all at the same time. It's just you never, and then you got to figure out, you got to put all the pieces together.
That's a really good
Yeah.
way to explain it.
Yeah.
Well, now you say it's from both sides of your family. What was your first experience with your gifts? Like, how young were you and you realized you were doing something every other kid can't do or
That's the
can't
thing.
do
I
yet?
didn't realize that other kids couldn't do it
Oh, wow.
because it was normalized in my home. So it was like, oh, you saw a spirit. My mom said that. So the house that I grew up in, her friend actually like owned it, and he committed suicide in the garage. And my mom said I used to talk to him when I was like 2. Like we'd be having like full on conversations. Obviously, I don't remember that, but my first like real memory was, I guess, about like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
And it was, I think, my brother's spirit guide, like my little brother's spirit guide. I kind of like looked like him, and I explained it to my mom. She's like, "Oh yeah, I see him all the time." Like it was like normal.
Oh, wow. Emily's on. She says hi.
She actually just popped up because
Yeah.
unfortunately I had to use my phone. So sorry if I have to get people out of the way.
Hi, Emily.
Hi, Emily.
Oh, she is the
That's
best.
my boo-boo. I love her.
She's the coolest. She's the coolest kid I know. She's
is
so she's so cool.
It was like, so even though we met in really weird circumstances, once we actually sat down, we were like, oh my God, we all got along so good. And we still, even though we're across the country, all of us are like text almost daily.
Oh, wow.
That's good.
Close. So
That's
Well,
great.
you know what? I want to see 3GD get back together.
We're
I
not
want to.
broken up.
I want to see the band back together. I hear so much about
We're
it,
not broken up.
but
we
I
just
want to
need
see
actually find the time.
I want to see y'all record a new album. Like,
Yeah, me too. I really do. I miss them like crazy.
we need to make it a big, like, next big place we book. We'll get you guys to come too and make it a crossover.
That'd be really fun.
Get all of you, Emily, not just 3GD Emily, 3GD Melissa, 3GD
And Gina,
Emily,
do you know
3GD
Gina? Do you know Dad? The dad of the group, Gina.
I haven't met her. I've seen her commenting a few times.
She's
And
like the funniest out of all of us.
oh, she's the funniest.
Funny.
Well, we
So if
gotta
you
get
think
it going.
Emily's funny. She's like she will have you rolling around.
Emily is Beetlejuice, I think.
She kind of is. It's
She
definitely
talks
her
like
spirit
Beetlejuice. She
animal.
acts like Beetlejuice, and if you say her name 3 times, she appears.
Just got green hair like Beetlejuice.
She has green hair like Beetlejuice. She wears a lot of stripes.
So even though we're 3 girls in the dark, we have another member, our scream queen Ryan, and he is amazing. He
Okay.
kind of is like the spirit booster of everyone on the crew. So like if you're having a bad night, he's always bringing the energy up. He's also does a lot of our research too.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I
So
need,
it's
I
really
need a spirit booster
really the four.
sometime. So they take you and they throw you in these dark places, and you're all about the love and light. Have you ever been with them and they throw you somewhere and you read something that you kind of regret, or something I wish you hadn't put me in this room because something really
like
bad
every
has
time.
happened? So tell me a good story that makes my hair raise. Like, tell me a great.
Well, I
a
don't
great one.
remember a lot of what I read. So if I
Oh wow.
I don't really remember. I don't want to. I don't really. But they'll show me footage back. Oh, I remember we were at the Missouri State Penitentiary.
Oh wow.
And that place was super creepy. It looked like, I guess there was some like pandemic there where they buried a bunch of people in the ground, and it looked like Night of the Living Dead to me.
Oh wow.
And I was like, why are we standing on this ground? That was super creepy. And then there was like this whole male jail rape thing. I don't know. It was just all nasty residual energy. I think that was probably the scariest place they ever took me.
Little spooky boy in Indiana when we did the photo
I knew
shoot.
she was going to bring that up.
Tell us about that.
It was like a creepy spirit. Well, it was something pretending to be a kid. And it wasn't. It was like a shapeshifter thing. I don't know. It was hiding around a corner. That was probably I think I got scared, so they got scared. Because I was like, woo, Yeah. And I feel like my grandmother used to always tell me, when you get scared, you're like, in the name of Jesus. And I do remember, I don't get like that scared that often. And when we were there, I'm like, in the name of Jesus. Like, for me.
That's awesome.
You got grandma level scared. That's
yes,
perfect.
she's just like, it's always to protect you, Melissa.
That's amazing.
Now, is there anywhere you'd want to go? Have you ever heard of a location that has something that entices you? Like, man, I'd love to go to London. I'd love to go to, something like that.
I think I really like to do like the Victorian residentials.
Oh wow! Yeah.
Like where, maybe these old houses or old mansions have a story, and then sometimes the information. I'm sure this happens to humanity. It's like they tell you one thing, and it's not the information that you're getting, and you're like,
That's not right.
Yeah.
We've been getting a lot of that with Mandy, where we get to a location, and this classic tale that's told of this one building is right but twisted. It's a little askew, and she's finding the right answer, about a father and daughter did this, but she's finding no, it was just the daughter and this and the she's finding out answers for us.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Well, I mean, you can imagine these tales get twisted and told so much over time, you know?
Yeah, and just like
So-
family stories, you know?
Yeah, they start to get a little exaggerated, and then things start changing, and then that energy starts changing with it too. Personally.
Oh, like the energies can take on the story, right?
Yeah.
For sure. For sure.
Like if they start adding the tale of a little girl, the spirit will start looking like a little girl.
Yes, and I do think that there's a lot of lower vibrational energies, kind of like that scary ghost kid. It wasn't a kid. It wasn't like the kid, but the story was that there was like a little boy, that people had seen this little boy. I'm like, that's not what that is.
Yeah.
Like once it actually reveals itself to you.
Yeah. Emily says the Lep Mansion, where you did a reading on the guy that randomly came along in the investigation with Detroit Paranormal Expeditions. That reading floored me, she says.
I don't remember what I said. I have no idea what I said. I do know that I think he started following me after, like, not like following me, but like on social media, because he was like kind of really against it. Like he was not down with the medium get down. I do remember that.
And then you flipped a switch, you opened his eyes.
But I have no idea what I said. And I think they think that is kind of amusing with me, that I don't really remember what happens, because Emily's, you know how Emily is, she's silly, so she thinks it's funny that I have reading amnesia.
Now, Mandy, is that common? Is that common
Yeah.
with medium?
Yeah, a lot of people.
Is
Totally.
it
I
because
mean, sometimes you'll remember like really profound readings and stuff, you know?
Mhm.
But a lot of times, I mean, you do so many over time, it just kind of all blurs together.
Yeah.
she says the guy's grandpa came through and said he was proud of him, and it was exactly 5 years to the day of him deciding not to commit suicide.
Dang, I said that.
Dang. I saved his life.
That's
Um,
great.
I think kind of what Mandy was saying, I do a lot of reading, so I think it's my defense mechanism. You know, like instead of carrying all that with me, like in nursing, like I might remember someone always, but like I won't remember their name because of HIPAA. Like I don't want to remember their name. So I think it's kind of like my own self-protection. And also when you do this line of work, and I'm sure you guys know, you have to do a lot of like protect yourself. You have to set up boundaries. You can't just let, you know, anybody or anything.
All that, with every individual reading, you take on so much, and you just have to dump it, or else you're keeping all of that person's emotions and baggage on you.
It's actually dangerous. A lot of
Yeah.
healers, mediums have fibromyalgia, rheumatoid arthritis, kidney problems. It's because they don't release the energy.
Oh, wow. Now, do you,
Lupus is a big one.
sort of like you said, you were serving hot dogs and giving readings that you didn't even mean to. As a nurse, do you feel like, you know, you connect with your patients a lot? Do you like have patients where you can't help it but sort of guide them spiritually as you're guiding them physically as a healthcare worker?
Yes, I think most nurses are like that. You know, really, when you're in your nursing position, you're usually so dang busy that you don't have that much time. But there are times when you really have to go with your instinct. Yeah. I work for a Catholic hospital, so I really don't try to cross those boundaries.
But sometimes
it happens, but I try to, I guess, like sugarcoat things, you know?
Yeah.
And a lot of times it happens organically where people, like I just had a patient and just like out of nowhere, she was telling me, I'm a labor and delivery nurse. She was like telling me like that her mother had passed away and like told me all the details. Like she just felt that I was an open space to give that information to.
Oh.
So I think it's just a different hat, you know?
Now I get that kind of things all the time. I do not consider myself any kind of medium, but just this is probably a month ago, I had a guy where I work, just like Brian understands, someone I was put at the table with, Brian, to help me on a mold.
Right.
And he was a new guy, and he's just like, I'm like, how are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm doing pretty good. And I was like, what's new with you? 3 years ago, my daughter committed suicide. And then since then, I've been moving around, and he told me about a 45-minute story. I just met him, and it started with his daughter committing suicide, him moving, him trying to find work, him changing his life, him finding religion. And then he sort of like looks up at me and goes, "I'm sorry. I don't know why I said all that."
Yeah. Well, I think you're easy to talk to. Like, I think the more we mature as people, human beings, whatever you want to say, everybody has some sort of healing gift. Like
I've had that 3 or 4 times.
Spirit gives you, like, different gifts, different hats in different situations.
I can count about 3 times where someone has dumped a long story at me, and I'm like,
me too. Usually it's like at a bar with someone.
Yeah.
I never want to talk to.
That's so true.
But no, it's true. Like, because people feel comfortable with you, people feel that they can open up. I also do want to ask you, is there something with either one of you, with one of your grandfathers, or something with a middle name or a name that's like passed down with the grandfather?
Me.
It's something like being thanked for the middle name, and also he has kind of a the very solid energy. Like, I feel like there's something very safe about him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's very safe. He's very solid. He's not really a crotchety kind of guy. He kind of has like a swagger about him as an older man. Like, he definitely like that.
He thinks that he did.
Like, he kind of definitely like a cooler personality.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have like that grandpa type personality.
Yeah.
Because he's really, really proud of you. He's telling me that you have a way of making even people who are very awkward, as we're talking about this conversation, feeling very comfortable. And actually, you're going to be getting into some work that has to do with like a biocranial release and really getting people almost into very deep meditative states. And he's like saying like, keep working on this, and whoever's going to be teaching you, it's not going to be a lot of classes for you. It's going to go really quick. You're just going to be able to open up the chakras, like almost like pulling it open up the biocranial. And there's actually a space that's going to invite you to come and do your work. And this is all happening like in the next 5 years. So he's really excited about this. And he was someone that, even for his time period and his generation, he's always very accepting.
Yeah.
He's very accepting. Mm-hmm. And also, I don't know if you just gave away tarot cards or you're going to be buying someone tarot cards, but it's a female specifically, and like they need them.
Okay.
You're going to be changing their life.
Very cool.
Tell them throw the book away, like, because this person is such a true intuitive, and you see it in them. You just need to like tell them, figure out your own way of doing this, because they're going to be better than a lot of other people who are
very cool
taking too much time with it.
Very
so
cool.
That just happens.
Yeah. No, thank you. Just to like validate you, my grandpa, his name is passed down in our family. Like they keep the middle names going. And so yeah, he's amazing. And it's funny because I do trance. That's I do trance and channeling. That's like my main thing, but I really want to get into teaching that and teaching other people who maybe aren't even mediums or psychics to be able to go into that space. I don't want people to feel limited. So yeah, no, all of that makes perfect sense. He's my rock.
Awesome, girl. You're such a healer. Keep up we need healers in this world right now. Keep it up.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That's
but
so nice.
Steve, I also want to go to you really quickly, because you're not fully doing your biggest potential. I know I feel like that you work a lot. You probably work a lot of hours, but you need to be doing you also need to do art just for you. That has nothing to do with anybody else, because it came into your life. That's the way that you do that you release things. I was talking about keeping things in the body are dangerous for people. They cause illnesses, cancers, all of these things. you gotta like have wherever you live, you need a little art studio just for you. And it doesn't care if you get mad and just break it. It's about like getting it out, and it's something that has nothing to do with like clocking in and out and being part of your paycheck. And I feel like you're really exhausted lately. But it doesn't matter. Like, you need this for your own release. Now, I'm sorry, Brian.
Wow.
Brian, I also want to tell you, you got this cool thing with music, though. There's something like really cool with the way that, and I don't know if you play music, but there's something where you can like detect almost like different pitches. And I don't know if this is like.
He builds stereos.
But it's like a really cool gift. I think maybe you're like an alien. Like, no, I mean, like, there's something that's like really cool where you can like hear something and be like, that's off. Or that's like the wrong frequency. And I think that maybe you need to kind of look into, and I know there's like sacred geometry, but I think there's also like sacred, like sound waves or something to do with sound waves. And I think it's like an ancient, I mean, I'm not saying this because I know a lot about this. I'm just saying this because it's what I'm picking up about you. You need to really go deep into that, because it's something very past life and primal for you, and it's going to come to you so naturally, and you're going to teach a lot of people at some point. This is a cool thing about you. You don't like get in someone's face like you need to learn this. People have this way of watching you, and it's like magic. And then you're like, yeah, that's awesome. You can do it now. It's like, you're not even like, okay, you do this, and this step. They just watch you, and you got a cool flow about you, man. And they like can follow it. It's really cool. So, so there's also a woman around, and she would have passed of cancer. She's like doing this to me. She would have passed of cancer. And she's like telling me that she knows that I do think that she might have went through one round of treatment or something with treatment. She did fight, but like it was just her body had given up. I do feel like her passing is very peaceful. It's a very peaceful passing. Does she belong to one of you on the top?
That's not in line with anything I can think of right now.
I don't have any cancer.
She passed of cancer. I don't think it's necessarily breast cancer. I want to say that she has a big like C initial in her name, like Cindy or something like that. Maybe she's one of the viewers. I don't know if there's people, or is it just us? I don't know, but it's somebody like with her name's like Cindy, I think. Cindy.
I'm not picking up. I don't have anyone really with a cancer history.
Well, either way, I'm just gonna put it out there because it might be for either one of any of you guys, but it's for someone that I feel like is gonna watch this.
Yeah.
It's like a big initial, like a Cindy, like a Candy. Like I feel like that there's like a C and a Y in the name. And I know she couldn't communicate. Here they go again. Excuse me. Very well.
How old is this spirit?
She's not that old, like maybe 60-ish. She's not that old.
How long has she been crossed over?
Maybe like within the 5-year mark.
Well,
so
a little bit
she's very close to Earth, because I feel like that definitely her daughter wasn't ready for her to go. Like the people in the family, they weren't ready for her. They wanted her to be at peace, all of those things, but this woman is kind of a younger woman getting her life started. I do think she's, there's going to be a baby. I think there might be another baby. I think there might already be a baby. And she's just really missing. I feel like this is her mom. Anyways.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Anyways, she just really wants to put it out there that she's with her. She had to get this message across, and don't think that she's not going to be there helping her raise her children, because she struggles with that very strongly. My
grandma, Elizabeth Buxton, died of cancer, and her daughter's daughter, Candy, has a baby boy who was a baby when Elizabeth passed. So maybe is there a message from my grandma to my cousin Candy?
Is that she feels like she's like lost out on the opportunity to have, like women when their mom helps them raise their children.
Yeah.
That's what she feels like she's missing out on. Like she feels like that there's not that support system for her. And she's kind of, not jealous, but envious.
Well, the name Candy connected because that's my cousin. And she has a baby.
Be like around like 60s.
Yes, my grandma died in her 60s.
Did they do something like with the ashes?
I'm not sure. I could ask my ma. But wow, but I do know you couldn't have hit my nail on the head any harder and perfecter. I was literally before you came on, I was saying I am a special effects artist and I'm stuck in a position I don't like and I hate my job, and I see people getting raises and progressives and getting to be creative and do art that I can't do, and I want to quit, and I want to just telling my wife about all these things I want to sculpt and sell and things I want to build and things I want to build for the house. Which is exactly what I need.
I don't think you ever need to be afraid to not be successful. That's your hang up. You're afraid that if you go out on a limb that you won't make enough money, and that's not your life plan. You're somebody that always gets, I don't want to say gets what they want, but you are kind of lucky. You're kind of like a lucky person. Like things fall into place for you.
Yeah.
So don't worry about taking chances. But you're not ready to go yet. You're not ready to fully go on your own, but when you are, it's not going to be scary for you.
I always tell, I literally say, Tay, can I quit today? Like, can I just quit and work, spend every day back here working on the show, working on sculptures, I mean, you probably didn't know. I mean, you might know because I said we were working with Emily, but we are in the same effects industry that we sculpt and create and build and paint stuff. I want to just make my own stuff. I want to quit. I want to focus on the show.
Who used to do like graffiti?
Banksy.
I keep picking up on like a young kid, and he was like really good at graffiti art.
Did you do graffiti in your skateboarding days?
I did graffiti in my skateboarding days.
No, this kid's like a skater kid, but
all my buddies did too.
Took the wrong road. He took the wrong road.
I think everyone took the wrong road.
No,
me.
I mean, I think it was an accidental overdose. But he had fallen pretty bad before he really got super deep into drugs. Geographically, do you not live where you're from? Sorry, I didn't look up anything, but are you not from geographically where you're from?
I'm from Alabama.
Because this kid tells me that he had like big dreams. He was really a good artist. He was a good graffiti artist, but he passed away. So go for it.
I got 3 or 4 of those from my.
He's not very tall. He's not very tall guy. He was like really strong though. Like he could get up high and do graffiti because he was like little and could climb good. He's not a very big guy.
Oh.
Anyways, he's saying hi.
Wow. Oh my God. I wasn't expecting this.
Yeah, but it's spirits sometimes from our past that we don't think of that often sometimes come through. Like he's like saying like, he go for it, like go for the big things in life.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. All right. I got to go quit my job.
But that's the thing. When you're ready, it's like me with nursing, right? I know that when there's not fear behind it for me, then it's going to be like a smooth transition.
Yeah.
Well, like you said, I've always get what I want. Like most people can't say the jobs they've held are pro skateboarder, pro wrestler, ghost hunter, and effects artist. That's all the jobs I've had.
That's your resume?
That's my resume. and attempting to be a stand-up comedian too. And I paused that. I was working real hard on stand-up and I stopped. Yeah, I never did normal jobs.
Is your brother actually funnier than you though?
No.
No, I feel like he's got really good one-liners. Like you
He
might be
thinks he
like loud
does.
and funny, but I feel like that he'll like randomly say things and like everyone will crack up.
He's
That's
like,
that's what I think about Brian. I think
Oh.
I think he's kind of like dry sense of humor.
oh, Brian. Yes, Brian will drop things that will silence a room.
That's like
with the jaw
so
drop.
no offense with your comedy career, but I think your brother's funnier.
Oh, this
That's
brother.
hilarious. That's
This
so
brother.
funny.
Not my real brother, my ghost hunting brother.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think he's got like silence, like one-liners, where you're like,
Yeah,
Most
doesn't
of
sound like me at all.
Most of Brian's
like,
jokes
you're
he can't
Brian,
tell.
Like, you have good timing, Brian. I think you got good timing. That's the word. That's what I was looking for.
I have impeccable timing.
He will drop these one-liners, and you're like, "What?" It's so good.
It's the alien thing. I just don't think like other people.
I told you. I think you need to get your astrological chart done. I think you might be an alien.
Well, I am an
That's what
abductee.
I always say to my mom.
Maybe I'm not an abductee. Maybe they just, bring me home once in a while.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, Brian, weren't you talking about that with Emily about some of your alien experiences, and y'all were having the theory of alien baby switches or something?
Yeah, there's definitely some questionable stuff. I always thought my brother was more likely a hybrid of some kind. It's not just me; he thinks so too. So.
No, that's exactly what I think about my mom, and it's like this big joke. So this astrologer did her chart, and she's like, "This is the most crazy chart. I think you're an alien." And so it's like her family joke. Like, Mom, you're really an alien.
That's great.
Oh my god.
Well, I do think that certain people don't reincarnate as fast. I think that some people like stay on the other side for a very long time and are not as connected to earthly things that other people worry about, carry with them than other people. Like some people will do like a past life regression and they might remember like some crazy ancient times. Then the next person it might be 20 years ago. I think, Brian, you take nice, big, long breaks before you came back. I don't know why you signed up for this incarnation, but only the alien knows.
I hope I to try again.
You're doing fine on this one, sir. You're doing fine. Now,
great.
thinking about reincarnation, what makes the creation of a new soul? Because there has to be new souls, or are all souls just another soul hopping? Is there never new souls? Like, could this be my first go around, Brian's third, Mandy's fifth, and yours second?
Okay,
Or-
well, you already know that it's not your first go around. Come on.
But I'm just saying, like, could that be possible? Could someone be a first soul?
I think anything is possible. I think what I see more than not are, like I said, some people incarnate fast and they like keep coming back, or even if they, like the old standard people used to say like 5 generations, so you could wait for your circle to kind of go back. And then the veil has been really, really thin, the 60s, really, the 20s, it kind of started. That's a whole different, we could talk about that for a long time, but I don't think all of the standard rules that once were are the same. I really think that we're going into a new, into the 5th dimension, going into a new horizon and building up. I mean, look, even things that have happened in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been going back and reading things about 2012, like all the books that were written and of saying, like, look how many, like the Mayans said that that's when the world ended, but how many things have crumbled and are rebuilding. And I do think that even though we're in the rebuilding process, we're just barely in the foundation. That's why people are having a hard time. That's why people are trying to figure out what they want to do with their lives. They want to do something different. They're feeling like the call of the change and the vibrations.
Mm-hmm.
And some people whose energy, they can't process the new vibration. That's why a lot of horrible things happen. A lot of great things happen too, though. Like some people are feeling the vibrational change. Some people can't handle it.
Yeah.
But
So if there aren't new souls, is that how the species spiritually progresses? We're just, as long as humans have been alive, we're just souls getting older and older and older in new bodies. Is that how spiritually the species is getting more in tune? Is that how that's happening?
I think so. And then I think there's also the aspect, like I said, about our alien friend here. Some people just take a really long break and do a ton of learning on the other side. And then those indigo children, I think nothing anymore is like cut and dry.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's really not black and white like that anymore.
There's no new souls. We're
that,
all someone.
I will tell you that I've ran into younger souls for sure, but I don't know if I've seen a brand new one. I'm not saying it's not there, or maybe I don't remember. I don't know. I just think that
and we read that I think there are new souls and they end up doing horrible things and have zero empathy because they don't know how to be human yet.
Yeah, I mean, why couldn't it be that way?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember being in Source. We're not supposed to, because we're supposed to come back here and try to, change things, make ourselves better, be part of the uprising. I also think that some of the newer souls can't take the vibrational change that's happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I have a weird. I have this weird theory that, like, right before my son was born, my grandfather passed. Like, it was supposed to happen.
Oh, yeah.
And my little boy reminds me of my grandpa, if that's strange.
I don't think it's strange. And someone just brought basically the same thing up to me within the last few weeks. It was a grandfather thing. And she's like, I swear it's him. And I go, well, why couldn't it be? I think the veil is so thin right now.
And my daughter reminds me of my grandma.
Aww.
And they both died in the same year.
Wow.
And I swear my son has even joked, and he said, when I was your grandpa before I was Ben, I loved you too, and stuff like that.
So sweet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But I mean, like I said, I just don't think it's cut and dry anymore. I think, like I said before, the standard, it was like 5 generations, what they used to always teach in metaphysics. I don't think it necessarily has to be that way.
Yeah.
And I think, like, if you believe it's so, then it's so. Like, I'm a firm believer in that. I never try to talk people out of what they think. If your heart is telling you, and your mind's eye and your heart are connecting, and it's telling you that this is so, then you got to go with it. And that's actually one of the biggest questions that people ask me about being a medium. Like, how do I, tap more into my senses? And it's trusting it. Mm-hmm. Trusting that what you thought, your intuition, is what it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's been really cool, Mandy, watching you teach people that too.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. It's like you have a really good, like, beautiful gift with that.
What is this comment from Gina? Let's see if I can read it right.
I'm so blind. Look at me.
I'm not the best. I had a past life regression done, and I was told my son is my soulmate, and we will always meet in our lives. But this time, he gets to be my son, and I'm really excited about it. He didn't know I was pregnant when he told me this. Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. They are the cutest, like, adorable pair.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really are. Like, it's beautiful because I knew her before she was a mom.
Yeah.
And it's really beautiful watching their relationship because it's so lighthearted and natural
Yeah.
and comical. Like they're just really have fun together.
That's so
It's really good.
Oh, I'm thinking about all kinds of stuff now. Yep,
sweet.
my son is such my little. He takes care of me as much as I take care of him.
Mm-hmm.
Just like my grandpa. I'm gonna cry so much. I'm so weak. I cry.
No, you know, I
Just-
always say I thought I was tough until I had kids, and I realized that I'm so soft. My daughter's 17 and my son is 10, Maya and Micah. And Maya's always like, "Are you gonna cry again, Mom?" Yeah, I actually.
My son does that. Anytime something sad happens in a movie, Dad, are you crying? You crying? You crying,
They're
Daddy?
like, she's like, "It's my birthday. Are you gonna cry?" I'm like, "Okay, probably. All right." Like,
I love it.
I'm spent and brain drained, Mandy. Think of a great medium. question.
You tapping out.
Well, what you said
Well,
to me, if you had heard what we had just talked about, that I was so frustrated with my job and so frustrated with my work, and the conversation I had with my wife about I've never done anything for more than 5 years or lived in the same place for more than I changed states and changed jobs my whole life.
when's
I've
your
been here
birthday?
April
April what?
29th.
You know your moon sign?
I have no idea.
I always ask that question. I'm like, what's your moon?
But
No one never knows.
I've always been changing.
Yeah, you got
I'll
like
do
some
something
Leo.
crazy
You got some
and-
Leo in your chart for sure.
Well,
They
I
always
love-
reinvent themselves every 5 years.
I love to leave everything and move to a new town with no friends and start over. And
And then you had kids, and your wife was like, "Whoa!" But
I
I did
love-
want to ask you: do you have someone that's like big into memorabilia? Because they're gonna be like, they're gonna help you branch off. Keep that relationship tight.
oh, I have a lot of people in Hollywood.
Yeah, but
Everyone's
this
into
guy's got
memorabilia.
but this guy has like a lot of money, and he's not like he's not really in the public eye.
Okay.
He's not like he's not in the public eye like that. Like you're not gonna run into him at a party.
You're not gonna run into me at a party.
No, I mean like it's not like social like that.
Okay.
Like a work event. Like it's not gonna be. Mm-mm. It's not like that. But anyways, he's big into memorabilia, and I think he might even be a writer. That's what I think he does. I think he's a writer.
Wow.
So he's kind of an introvert. He's gonna help you when it's time.
I can think of a few people it could be. Mandy, I interrupted you a little bit. What were you gonna ask?
Oh,
Think
I'm
of
just
some-
curious. Like, what kind of services do you offer to people? Like, what type of readings do you offer?
Well, kind of. I mean, I gotta be honest. I just market as a group or personal or whatever. Sometimes I'll like flip cards. It depends on how I want to connect with their energy, or if I feel like I need a little
Okay.
extra. Sometimes I scribble down when I'm doing it. I don't like to put as many labels on everything I do because sometimes it's individualized for that person.
Okay. Very cool.
And then I do like events and corporate things where I, just read for a certain amount of time, whatever spirits come in, bam, 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 bam.
Oh, wow.
And if somebody wanted to say book a reading with you or a session with you, where would they be able to do that, or where would they be able to find you?
Oh, thank you. It's Spiritual Connections with Melissa.com. Spiritual Connections on Facebook, Instagram.
We will try to find that and share it to all our stuff
Yeah,
too.
definitely.
Well, thank you guys. You guys are just awesome. This was so spur of the moment, and I'm 2 hours behind you. And I was like, I don't know, I might just be beat after I do readings all day because my grandmother's celebration of life is this weekend, so my family is on their way in town.
Oh.
And so I was supposed to work it tomorrow too, but I squeezed everything into today. So it's been just like a day of spirit energy. So
I mean,
It
and
all
thank you
worked
so
out.
much. We're always, it's so hard to get paranormal people are not normal people. And so it's hard to get them on a calendar. Everyone says, like, I'm like, hey, you want to know? Sure, man. And it's like, when? I don't know. Be available. Never. Like, okay. You know, so it's hard to lock people in.
I
Yeah,
think
and I
it's
was
hard, like, to lock people in just in general. Like,
Life-
everyone's got crazy schedules.
Yeah.
we are the generation that was told we can do whatever we want, and we are. Like,
That's
and
true.
and it's getting worse and worse. Every generation gets younger, and they do whatever they want, and it's wild.
Although there's something cool in that too. Like, I really like that my kids, like, they feel that way. You know, like, I can go to school wherever I want. I'm like, well, we're not rich, so you can't go to school wherever you want. They're like, no, like, if I want to go there, I'm gonna make
going.
it happen. Like, they like have a
Oh, that's
total
cool.
different like mindset.
I got a 6-year-old with green hair, so you know,
I
doing
love it.
whatever he wants.
Now, do any of your children, have they taken on your abilities? Has that been passed down?
Yeah, I do think, like, we kind of have this rule in my family: if you're not old enough to drive a car or like vote, then you like have to lay low, kind of thing.
Yeah.
My daughter Maya, she's very intuitive. She, as a little girl, she would tell me things that I didn't even like know about yet. Not as in predictions, but things like ancient things like that I had to look up because I didn't know what they were.
Oh wow!
Like, she's always been very intuitive. My son has told me at different points things that he's seen. He also remembers like some past life stuff. Like, you know how when you asked me earlier, like, you know, how did I, you know that nobody else felt this way? I kind of
Yeah.
raised my kids the same way.
Mhm.
So it's just normalized in our household. Now we don't, like, you know, run around the street saying it. And I think that most very, you know, spiritual children, most really psychic kids, in fact, that's something that I would like to tap into at some point. I mean, I've helped several children and young people over the years, but maybe do it on a bigger scale at some point.
Yeah.
I think that when you're younger, more things scare you.
Yeah.
And lower vibrational things, and really learning boundaries. I
Mhm.
think, especially when you're so intuitive and spiritual, it really builds on the foundation of, you know, having a happier life in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because so many really sensitive kids, you know, get treated for depression and anxiety, and it's because they're feeling the vibration of all the people around them, or the earth, or just because they're like, why is this happening to me? Why is this spirit picking on me? You know, I
Yeah.
teach them to give them the deuces. Don't let that spirit scare you.
I love it. I love it. I wish I knew that when I was younger, because the shit that I saw scared the crap out of me.
And, you know, actually, and even sometimes things will still try to scare you, and you're like, whoa, I know you.
Yeah,
I know
now
all
it's like,
about
nice
you.
try.
Yeah, like, I know you. Back up, buddy.
Yeah.
What would it mean if you had? I know that every kid thinks they have energy, and I'm seeing it in my boy, and I tell my wife all the time, like, you can't blame him because I was him. This 5 times the energy, literally, and I know I had it. I know I had 5 times the energy. And Ben, if there's a row of first graders standing in line, Ben is running around this tree at Mach 5, climbing it. Is that something because he's fearless, or were we both fearless as children, or is it an energy level?
I think it's all of the above. So my son is a lot like that. Like, he was allergic to, you know, dairy. I didn't know for like a couple of years, and I was like, man, this kid like cannot concentrate. I cut out the dairy. He was like concentrating. Now will he like play ball and run bases around like other kids? Yes, he has a lot of energy, but so do I. And when I was younger, like, I maybe couldn't sit still as much. I was, you know, picking things up. I was feeling energy, but it
he could be picking up energies. Okay.
Yeah, but you know what? I can clean the hell out of a house, and I can, you know, run circles around people. So sometimes that energy, like, it's okay. You know,
My-
like I think that also sometimes in society right now, we try to be like, you know, they need to sit down and not move around, but kids need to play. Kids need to run and jump. Like kids need to feel
My
the
joke
energy,
is
the
always,
vibration.
I didn't sleep till I was 30. I don't think I calmed down until my 30s.
Well, what do you think? Like, what do you think your system reacts to?
A desire to do something.
Yeah,
If I get
but
something in my head, I have to do it. I have to. If I wanted to learn to skateboard, I learned to skateboard, and I learned every trick I saw on TV.
In that, my son, I mean, he doesn't know every trick, but he's like that, you know. And then he might break a wrist or break an ankle, but he will try off the biggest thing.
And it was the difference of, if I love watching wrestling, I can't just enjoy watching it. I have to do it. If I enjoyed watching movies, I can't just enjoy watching them. I have to do it.
I mean, I think that's cool, man. I think it's really cool.
But what would be something that could help focus my little boy's super energy? Find him stuff the same way to
Always,
focus
you know,
it?
have things for him to do, but I also think that, you know, I mean, kids react to different things.
Yeah.
That's what I'm picking up for him. Like Micah, it was like dairy. Now, is he still have more energy than most people? Yes. But can he like actually sit and concentrate when it's time to concentrate? Yes. That's the difference. Now, he will go play outside for like hours. That he has that sort of energy, just who he is. But cutting certain substances or, you know, like electronics, everything has a vibration. And when people are sensitive to energy, and kids are sensitive, they pick up that vibration. How I was saying, I can go to a property and be spinning in the basement because I can feel the electromagnetic energy.
Yeah.
They just don't know what that is. So they're like, I'm feeling it. And there's a lot of people like Mindy that are able to balance people's energy and children's energy. Like it's actually, I don't know, and I'm sure LA there's something. But I have a friend here in St. Louis, and his name's Tom Tessero. He owns the Healing Arts Center of St. Louis. And kind of like what I was saying, the biocranial, he's helped Micah a lot by aligning his energy. So it's not all over the place. So he can focus. Like if he wants to do all the tricks on skateboarding, then he can focus on that and not squirrel, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it's individualized, and I'm sure there's a homeopathic healer.
We have Mandy. She'll come help Ben.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, she will. I'm sure she could.
yes.
With much confidence.
Well,
Thanks,
guys, it is 9:00. We've held you for an hour. I know it's late where you are. I know you got busy schedule, and wow, you really you hit us all with the perfect home run with your readings.
Well, thank you. I also really want to thank you guys for having me, and you all have great energy. This was
Thank
really
you.
fun for me tonight, and
Good.
forward, I'm gonna have to start following you guys.
Thank you.
Yes.
So-
Follow.
All the cool things you guys are doing. So nice to meet all of you.
And soon we'll have all 3 GD on the talk show at some point. And
We
get
need to do that.
stories. So I'll
Definitely.
talk to
That'd be
Emily.
a
We'll
good
make it
idea.
happen soon.
Yeah, it'd be
Thank you
great.
so much
Thank
for
you guys.
everything.
Have a beautiful evening,
Yes.
and happy
Thank
holidays.
you.
Yes, thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a great night.
Bye.
Wow.
That was cool.
If
really cool.
she could have recorded what I said before and then say that. Oh my
Very much
God.
spot on.
Like
with everything.
so spot on.
Yeah. She's good.
Wow. I'm kind of floored a little
Knew
bit.
the alien thing.
Um,
Brian, we've been wrong this whole time. You're an
man,
alien.
HPD, thank you so much for watching HPD Live. Tune in next week when we don't know who we'll have. We got Kia Mill. I'm barely speak. Kia Mill on Paraflix. Watch our whole library on Paraflix and YouTube. Follow us on all social media, Linktree and bio, all that good stuff, merch and stuff. We love you, paranormal detectives of the HPD world. Say goodnight, Brian.
Good night, Brian.